This vid is going to show you a cool run with a Masker, BARKRIS and Graviton Spike build. We are the back end of this first miniature season of Edge of Fate. Portal feels tired at the minute. It's going to get its refresh next week. So I'm going to use a different activity to stress test a build. That being on the Legends tab, 0 hour. It's a good stress test build, because stress test activity, because it's minus 20 and it's a timer at 20 minutes. So you're going to go rather quickly in this one. So I'm stress testing it in this because the portal's tied at the minute and I'm running out of ideas for portals. So I'm doing 0 hour expert instead. It was the Arc Threat variant. Okay, so for the Masker BARKRIS build, replaces your dodge with a light teleport instead. Buffs your stasis and arc weapons. It's actually very good since it's rework. Weapons, I'm using Retrograde for damage purposes. Graviton Spike. New exotic hand cannon this season. I'm using the full version with temporal alignment for the buff. I have on small bore, flared magwell and textured grip. Battle loyalists, do not tell me to put on arrowhead break. I don't want to fall out with you over it. That wouldn't have made a difference in this run. Don't make me fall out with you over that. Small ball goes on because I want it on, and that's that. Other weapons, so I'm using Aurora Dawn because it's a stasis weapon and it pairs very well with Masker BARKRIS in terms of kill adds, dodge, quite a lot. The actual build itself you'll see on screen. I'll give you a dim link. Stat wise, I have not perfected the build yet. I've got 100 superstar, 110 class, and you want as high weapons as possible, but it doesn't need to be 200 weapon stat. May I remind you, the difference between 140 weapon stat and 200 weapon stat is only around 10%. Yeah, so it's not like the massive deal breaker, but do pump up that weapon stat pretty high on this build for sure, right? Artifact mods, nothing really helps in this. What we got? Well, we have got Frigid Glare, Stasis mods on, because we are using a Stasis mod. But other than that, there's nothing else that really helps me out in this run. I've got Scav mods on, etc. Obviously, we're going to be able to get Frost Armor via Graviton Spike because it does Arc and Stasis. The Prismatic build I'm running Silence and Squall, Marksman's Dodge, Threaded Spike, Grapple, Threaded Spectre, Ascension, Fragments are, Facet of Ruin, Protection, Hope, Dawn, and Purpose. Now you're going to wonder why I'm running Ascension still, because our dodge is going to be replaced to a light shift, therefore you wouldn't use Ascension, but you're still better off using Ascension on this. You're still better off doing that because you can combine, because you can get your class ability back so quickly, you can combine an Ascension with a lot of kills to then do a light shift dodge and then go on and forth, because Ascension gives amplification for free. It is overwhelmingly better than Starless Executioner, Gunpowder Gamble, and in my opinion probably Winter Shroud as well, although Winter Shroud's pretty good with this. But I'm just saying that I think just using Ascension clone on this is still the way to go, and that's how I'll be going forward. Reason being is because you can get your class ability back so quickly that you have two different styles of playstyle within this build. And that's what I like about it, and the video will show you that that is actually the case. Because the amount of immense class ability you can get, you can make so many clones on the battlefield with this build. So that's the build on with the run. So as we start the run, I'm going to pop an Ascension for Amplify just to run through a little bit quicker. That's why I still run things like Ascension with this, because you can combine Ascension with this light shift and still have plenty of uptime on both abilities. Alright, so I'm going to grapple melee into middle. Okay, then I'm going to do an Ascension for Amplification. And then that means that the adds are less likely to attract us, and I've jolted all those targets. And I'm just going to keep swording all the adds. Right, now you're going to make less clones this way, but to get the train or the ball rolling, it's a nice thing to lead an encounter with Amplification. But let me show you the other way, where you just keep swording and light shifting. you'll make a ton of clones. So that we've just cleared out those initial ads very fast. So we do a melee here, then we make a clone, do a light shift, there we go, another clone, we can make another one. And we can just keep sorting all of these ads and keep making clones like this, look. That will basically mean that the ads are basically going to not hit you as much because there's so many clones on the battlefield with this play style. I'm going into middle, I'm leaving snipers up, I'm playing aggressive on purpose. I've left everything up. Still got the snipers up, let's get rid of them quickly. I'll do now an Ascension, so you see how we're combining both the Ascension plus the light shift to take advantage of both playstyles in one build, and it's fine to do that. Whereas if I run Gunpowder's Gamble, there's no benefit there. If I run Winter Shroud, there's a little bit of a benefit because I'll slow the enemies as I dodge past them. That's beneficial if we're up against a lot of champions, but there's no champions in this, so I was like, yeah, I'm not considering that really, you know. So I still think overall, Ascension plus Clone is the way to go for this. Because you get so many dodges, you can combine a Ascension once in a while in combination with your light shifts. So I'm going to get rid of these Vandals at the back of the map with the hand cannon. It's got pretty decent range actually. Okay, Sans and Squall in middle there on the servitors. Make a clone, grapple in there. Go in with the sword. The Stasis sword's unbelievably strong with Mask of BARKRIS. Plus it's got Sharp Harvest, so I can generate a lot of special ammo with this sword. Slammer would have sped this run up. But I'm not using Slammer, of course. So the initial ads, we're going to take them out. I'm getting weak here, playing a bit more aggressive. Most of the top ads are taken care of. Sniper. I've got a Transcendence to use, so I'm going to use it now. Use a nade or two on the servitors. And I'll start working on the tank. Do a bit of not bait and switch. Elemental honing times 4, look. A lot of damage here. Don't worry, you'll get to see the hand cannon damage with Mask of BARKRIS, which is sizable damage. I mean, the hand cannon's strong. I would say it does need a buff, and it's getting that next week. Graviton Spike is getting a buff next week. And it's, in my opinion, actually does need it. But it's pretty strong, the hand cannon. I don't think it's like S+. I think it's an A tier weapon. Yeah. I haven't played with it today because I haven't played with this hand cannon barely at all. Simply because I just haven't had time to. But look at this. Being able to, like I say, kill 2 ads, get a clone, kill 2 ads, light shift, get a clone. It is nice with the hand cannon, I must admit. And if there's any build that's going to shine with Graviton Spike, then it's this one, in my opinion, right? Obviously, it's got that two modes, the Stasis and the Arc. The Stasis mode's nice, but the Arc mode of it seems to do more damage when it's enhanced, in my opinion, right? But you've got to, the way the gun works is you've got to go back and forth between the 2 elements. So I need to clear out all of these ads. I'm just going to do that. I'm just going to sword them. Remember, we're on 0 hour here, so we are effectively timed harshly. 0 hour is a harsh timer. So that's why I'm playing quite quickly on this. But, you know, as I said, the portal's tired at the minute, yeah. In terms of its rotation, its modifiers, its the way it's designed and set up. You know, we need that refresh. I don't know why Portal isn't refreshed daily or weekly. Weekly would be perfect. So say, for example, the Pinnacle Ops had 0 hour 1 week, and then next week it's Presage. You know, 4 or 5 Pinnacles, and then they rotate weekly. I don't know why they're rotating every 6 weeks. A 6-week rotation is tiresome, and I don't know why they're doing it like that, and they don't need to. Especially after coming off of the Rite of the 9 dungeon rotation, where they were adamant on a set rotation for that, but not for this. Like, as in Edge of Fate Portal. I don't know why the Portal is 6 weeks a time, or 8 weeks a time. It does seem a little bit odd to me. I mean, we're going to get a new Portal next week. But, I mean, after 7-8 weeks, we're going to want a new one well before that. It should be just weekly rotation. I don't know what they're playing at with that. I am very confused on why they decided to have it like that, because at the back end of a season, Portal's going to get bored for you, man. You're going to get bored of it a little bit, because the activities are just exactly the same every single day, every single week in, week out. Only difference being daily bonus focus. But I just thought I'll give you my 2 cents about that. 0 hour puzzling. I'm a little rusty on my 0 hour, I think, a little bit, because I haven't played it in ages. I mean, we get the clear still. I still do the clear and everything, solo flawless, etc. But yeah, you can see slightly in my gameplay, I can tell at least, I'm slightly rusty as opposed to maybe what I used to be like with this mission. But that's only natural if you don't play a particular mission for a long time. I'm going to do the grapple ascension tech. This is another reason why you still run ascension over anything else. Yeah, because of things like that. Being able to do techniques like that require no weird inputs. It's not, skating techniques. It's nothing like that. And that's why I really do like the grapple ascension technique. Especially when you're going through missions like this. Okay, so we're just going through the jump puzzle part. 0 hours fantastically made. It still holds up today on how damn good it is. And obviously they only reworked it last year, where they added the brigs and stuff. It wasn't exactly like this at launch. Hopefully the new exotic mission stands to the same grading as what 0 hour did back in the day when it came out. We are severely in need of a good new exotic mission to enhance the game and for people to be excited about D2 again. And sometimes exotic missions do have an effect of, if they launch in a very, very good spot and it's a very good mission, sometimes that is enough to save D2 just for a few weeks. Even if it's just for a few weeks. It absolutely does happen and has. We'll just have to see how well designed that new Ash and Iron exotic mission is, though. It has to be good. If it's subpar, we're in trouble a little bit. We are on the exotic mission front. Let's hope not. Let's hope the exotic's good that you get from it. And the mission is well designed enough for people to remember it. That's what needs to happen. Okay, so now we've got the Trevor section. If you've never played 0 hour, it's on a fixed rotation, and this room is basically a room of 4 buttons, 4 consoles that you need to activate. And there's a set rotation. We've been doing this for years. It's bottom left, bottom right, top right. If you're curious to know. If you've never played this mission, and I know it's not in the poll, it's still well worth your time for the experience. You won't get level up, but it doesn't matter anyways. You're still waiting for Ash and Iron. So if you've never played this mission, you need to absolutely go and do that now. You should. It's probably one of the best exotic missions. Probably is the best exotic mission. It's even better than Whisper in my eyes, just because of its impact that it made on the game, although Whisper did make a big impact as well. I suppose both of them equally did, but it's for sure better than all the rest of them. The only mission that maybe comes close enough is Presage. I think Presage was a massive deal. People have forgotten the impact of Presage as well, with all its secrets and Dead Man's Tale and all that stuff. It was a very impactful mission. So if the new exotic mission is as good as Presage, it's a win. That's basically what you need to say. I'm not saying it's going to be as good as 0 hour, and probably not. But if it's in the realms of Presage with a lot of secrets, the mission's long enough but not too long, like Encore. It needs to be a bit shorter than Encore, but not too much. Not too many traversals. A grand traversal with good combatant sections and a good unique boss, and that is the key components to design an exotic mission. I don't know what I'm doing. Why am I a player? I should be designing games. I should be designing the video game. I'm literally telling you how to make the exotic mission. That is really the elements to the exotic mission on what makes a good one, basically. Okay, little elevator section here. I'm going to grapple up once I can see the bridge. I can see the bridge. It will break a vent. I want to sidestep here, but I haven't. Generally, I do. Remember, it's arc rotation. So, what another good thing about this exotic mission is, It's got arc, solar, void, rotation. And that impacts the floor puzzle. There's a floor puzzle. And if you don't do the floor puzzle, you die. So it's arc rotation. So I know the arc rotation. I already looked this up earlier on, so I know where to go. But obviously, if it was solar or void, then it'd be a little bit more different. This is the hardest variant of the mission, by the way. Just so you know. The arc threat one is the most difficult one, with the void threat being the easiest and the solar threat being middle ground because the brig does solar damage, like constantly as well. But I've got 9 minutes in. That is a good time for the fact I haven't even got Eager Edge on. Remember, I haven't got Eager Edge on. And Eager Edge will speed up Zero by a minute at least. So I've lost a minute because of not having Eager Edge. So we're doing good is what I'm trying to explain to you. It's done, the build's done very good so far. I'm going to use Retrograde to take out the 2 turrets. And then I'm free to use my build because those turrets need to be taken out. They're too dangerous, right? So I'll start using a little bit of the hand cannon. I've got my dodge. So I'm going to go in with that, make a clone. And then we can do sword, make a clone, sword, make a clone. Because I've already got my class ability back. So I can keep doing that. I am just getting rid of the ads though. I'm not really too fussed at the minute. This is more initial prep. Sharp Harvest will help me out in this run as well because the special ammo is so important in this run. I'll do a bit of sword damage to the boss. That sets off the first server. The Silencer Squall goes in. I'll pop an Ascension as well to get amplified. Then we'll just do a bit of damage with the hand cannon here. Swap to arc. Get the bolt charges. The bolt charge on the arc variant of Graviton Spike is extremely potent. The stasis is as well on like tanks and bigger entities in the game. If you're up against a big ogre or something, the stasis variant of the hand cannon is very good. And the arc variant is more of the DPS version of the hand cannon. So yeah, overall it's a very fun hand cannon. It's good, especially with this build, because look, we can just keep making clones. And this will de-aggro ads on your location as well. Like you saw there, the ads were off my location trying to shoot down my clone, and that's why it's so good. So now I'm looking to get a super, yeah, whilst doing a bit of damage to the boss. Not too much, but looking to just, you know, get him to his next phase. Because my strat is to Silence and Squalor yet again for this server right here. Put a bit of damage in with Retrograde, going with Silence and Squall. The Silence and Squall, I will say, is a little bit... I think it's a little iffy. I don't think it's... I mean, we are in -20 content here. And remember, 0 Hour's got its own rules. It's nothing like Portal. It's sort of different to that in terms of how hard the ads hit. It's a different power scaler. You can't compare this to -20 Portal. It's different. But I am thinking... I am a little suspicious of Silence and Squall not hitting hard enough in the game. I think it's a little on the weaker side. But you've got, that's one thing with the build, I guess. It's a disadvantage to the build is that you've got to use a suboptimal super. But your neutral game goes way up because you've got that stasis and arc buff with Mask of BARKRIS and you can dodge and make lots of clones. So it's very fun on that side of things, but the super side of gameplay is where it lacks a little bit. So Mask of BARKRIS, whilst very good, it's not the best build in the game. It's definitely not the best hunter build in the game. It's more fun. It's more... I don't think it's S+, like some of you think it's S+. I don't think it's S+. I think it's very good on the... Especially with sword gameplay. Now, for sword gameplay, it's definitely S+. Rest in peace, Stronghold Titans, because this is probably better than it for sword gameplay. Honestly, it is really good that way. But as terms of our Prismatic Hunter goes, there's better builds than this, for sure. Because you're giving up so much just to get a stasis and arc weapon buff. And... it's worth it, but when we're up in Conquests, -40, -50, Ultimate Content next season, there'll be other things that we run, right? For sure. Again, it all depends what you're doing, you know. Take what I said with a pinch of salt, you know. I'm just giving you some initial observations. It's more about the hand cannon I'm talking about, where I think... But the hand cannon's going to get a buff, so I am not accounting for the buff. Remember, it's going to get a buff next week, so we'll have to look at Mask of BARKRIS again and see what it's like with the hand cannon. I'm particularly talking about the hand cannon with Mask of BARKRIS. not just Masker BARKRIS on its own. Melt the tank there with Elemental Honing times 4. Going to make a clone here, getting rid of the snipers. Some shanks in middle. You get hit hard in this. Like I say, I know it's only minus 20, but it's not the same rules. And it's arc threat. It's not the same rules as what a minus 20 portal is. Yeah, this is more equivalent to a minus 30 or minus 40 portal because the different scalers. Portal's got its own level and scaling, right, compared to the legacy content in the game. Especially these ones that are fixed difficulties. So look at the stasis doing good damage against the tank. Well, you didn't see it there properly, but it does. It does multiple damage against all the legs, the stasis variant. But I need to go rather quickly, so I'm just going to melt down this tank with the retrograde. Now I'm going to pop a super here in middle, preferably on the servitor. Try and get some damage on the servitor. I'll make a clone in middle to give me some respite. I'm going to back up to the back of the map a little bit because I've saved special ammo on purpose for this. Yeah, Elemental Honing times 2, not bad. This build's good for that as well because I can get Elemental Honing times 4, times 3 quite frequently. Yeah, but I'm going to get rid of the servitor first because he is the biggest deal on this little bit because he makes the boss immune. That's it, we get rid of him. Notice now, once we're playing 60-70 meters away, this build is hindered. I'm not talking Masker BARKRIS, I'm talking the hand cannon. Yeah, so now you're starting to see where the build would have. In long-range GM content, yeah, you wouldn't run it. And this is what I talk about range drop-off a lot, but people don't. A lot of people just will just blank me over this subject, and I don't know why you keep blanking me over it. You know, some of you just think, well, I should just use Tide. I should just use this weapon or a hand cannon. And that's never true at all. It's all, you need to build for the activity on range. What ranges are you up against? Yeah. If you're up against ranges at 50, 60 meters, well, then a scout and a pulse ain't a bad idea. Especially an exotic primary variant. Because it does that increased damage. Whereas if you're in tight-knit, close quarter rooms, alright, the SMG and sidearms go on. Or maybe the auto rifles for the mid-range. You need all your ranges covered and you need to be an expert marksman at every single range distance that you need. Right now I'm recognising I'm not going to get this cleared if I don't swap. So I'm going to swap to Deadman's Tail because we know Deadman's Tail does massive amounts of damage. So does Outbreak, but so does Deadman's Tail, of course, as well. Faceplate off the boss is taken. Now we're just going to get rid of him. We're just doing this, like I say, just to confirm the run. But yeah, the build is exceptionally good. Up close. It's more for aggressive gameplay. But that, seriously, getting 2 kills, making a clone. 2 kills, making a clone. Especially with Stacy's swords and stuff. That is an incredible gameplay loop. Right? And it's incredibly fun as well. So yeah, it is very good, and it's something that you should have a Masker BARKRIS build in reserve for. I don't think it should be your main build, like I say, but you know, I suppose Masker BARKRIS is Edge of Fate featured, so there is that, so maybe it should be one of your main builds for sure. So I'm just going to get rid of some of the snipers. We're 1 minute, like I say, 0 hours harsh on timer, like I said it is. We've went pretty quick in the run. Swap to an LMG because there's solar shielded shanks in middle and we can do this. Obviously, if this was locked loadout, then everything would change. And I wouldn't be allowed to do what you're seeing here. But that was a solo run with the Masker BARKRIS build. Very fun run, honestly, it really is. Hope you enjoy. Thank you.